Hi, welcome along to the Arsenal Fan TV Transfer Daily, the show where we take a look at players that have been linked with a summer move to Arsenal, and we're going to kick off straight away by looking at a player that we spoke about yesterday, and he goes by the name of Serge Aurier. Now, on yesterday's show, I was telling you about Serge Aurier, how there was a video that a fan filmed off of his camera phone where he said to Serge Aurier at a friendly, "Are you coming to Arsenal?" And Aurier said to him, "Yes." Now, listen, that obviously intensified the rumours going around with a lot of Arsenal fans that Serge Aurier is going to be joining Arsenal. However, right, we then yesterday put out our video, and on that video we had on the title, Serge Aurier admits that he's coming to Arsenal. Serge Aurier actually retweeted our video yesterday where it says that he's coming to Arsenal. So if ever there was evidence that he's coming, that seemed to be it. However, I was speaking to some fans who went along to the evening with Ivan Gazidis last night, and according to them, they were told that there's been no bid for Serge Aurier. And one fan even told me that he spoke to one of the execs there, and they said that they're more looking for an older right back than Serge Aurier. Listen, we don't know. We really don't know when it comes to these sort of things. Those execs are not going to admit if they have made a move for Serge Aurier. But one thing for sure is that Serge Aurier looks like he definitely 100% wants to come to play for Arsenal Football Club. It's whether Arsenal are going to bring him in. So we're going to have to watch this space and see what happens with that. Another player that's been linked with Arsenal. Now, this one's very, very intriguing, and it's Hulk. He plays for St. Petersburg, also a Brazilian international. If you've seen him play, you'll remember him, you know him. He's the big, muscle-bound, super quick player, very physical, scores a lot of goals as well. He used to play for Porto before that, banged in the goals, got a really, really expensive move to Zenit St. Petersburg, has scored a lot of goals there as well, and has had an injury-hit season this year, but even in the 9 games that he played, he managed to bang in 7 goals, and he will feature heavily at the World Cup for Brazil. Now, I don't know, I'm mixed about this one. He's the sort of player that I don't know if he's considered world-class. I mean, the price tag that he went to Zenit St. Petersburg would suggest to you that he's an absolute world-class player, but I don't know if he's hit those heights yet. But also apparently bid 20 million for him, and then have upped it to 26 million. And Zenit St. Petersburg are apparently willing to sell. Now, would he be a good addition at Arsenal? Certainly completely different to Giroud. Really, really fast and direct player. Would add to that pace of the front line. I mean, him alongside Theo Walcott would be pretty frightening. And I'm sure he'd be a player that would terrorise defences here in the Premier League, and with Giroud in there, he would have time to get used to the Premier League. So it's a really intriguing one, that one. I was just thinking today, who would I rather? Would I rather him or Balotelli if I could choose between the two of them? Both of them similar in that you don't know what you're going to get from game to game, and that's the thing. We need somebody who's going to be consistent, but if he did come, he would be a big name, the sort of big name that would excite Arsenal fans and really get Arsenal fans, you know, going. So, you know, I can imagine Puma being happy if he came here, because I could see loads of Hulk T-shirts flying out of the Arsenal shop. But that's one we're going to have to keep our eye on, Hulk being linked with a move from Zenit St. Petersburg to Arsenal. Another player that's been linked, and this is a player that played for Arsenal before. Yes, we seem to be trying to bring them all back. And that is Carlos Vela. Now, Carlos Vela's had a very successful season this year at Real Sociedad, has been considered as one of the success stories in La Liga. Now, when he was at Arsenal, didn't really hit it off. He had moments of, you know, we saw glimpses of how good he was. You know, I remember he used to be the expert at the little trick goals, and, you know, glimpses of his brilliance, but not consistent, and never really seemed suited to the physicalities of the Premier League. He's gone over to La Liga. Of course, it's a little bit less physical over there, and he's done really well. Now, his club Real Sociedad value him about £20 million, because there are a lot of clubs interested in buying him. Now, Arsenal they inserted this buyback clause when they sold him to Real Sociedad, where they can buy him back for 3.5 million. Now, anybody who says Gazidis this, Gazidis that, that is a very, very smart thing that they did there. And they could get him back on the cheap for 3.5 million. Wouldn't cost a lot of money. Left-footed player. Would it be a good addition to Arsenal, or is it just a matter of getting more numbers in? I don't know, because as I said, first time around he didn't really deliver the Mexican international for Arsenal. Would he deliver second time around? That is what we'll have to see. But certainly he would be very, very cheap. Wouldn't cost a lot of money. So we're going to have to watch this space on that one. And talking of players that we're talking about bringing back, another one is Cesc Fàbregas. Now, Cesc Fàbregas, the rumours have been flying around regarding Cesc Fàbregas. The latest rumours are surrounding his teammate Gerald Piqué, who told the manager Del Bosque that Cesc Fàbregas is definitely leaving, and he's told him that he's leaving for 33 million euros, which intriguingly is the buyback clause that Arsenal have. So are Arsenal bringing Cesc Fàbregas back, or has the deal been done, as most people seem to think, with Chelsea? And I'm a bit frightened of this, because Cesc Fàbregas going to Chelsea with Oscar, with Hazard, with Diego Costa now, remember, that's frightening. I mean, they're going to have such a good team, Chelsea, next season. They beat us 6-0 last year. Putting Fabregas in it, I mean, you know, that will really improve their team a lot. And then as I was saying, some fans were making a point to me yesterday that Arsenal players are so injury-prone that even though we've got a lot of players that play in that position, it's still worth bringing Cesc Fàbregas in, because it will create cover and competition for all those places. And certainly when I looked at that England friendly last night and I saw Oxlade-Chamberlain, brilliant. He was the best player on the pitch, but injured, possibly out. Jack Wilshere, I mean, he must have about 3-4 times in that game he got fouled, looked like he could be injured. I mean, I started to think to myself, maybe these fans are right when they're saying to me that, listen, it's worth getting Cesc Fàbregas in, because Cesc Fàbregas will provide, well, you can't say he's going to provide cover because he's such a top player, but it'll be competition for places. And if someone gets injured, if Jack Wilshere's out, Cesc Fàbregas is in. If Ramsey's out like he was last year, we've got Fàbregas to come in, and vice versa. So maybe it might be a good shout to go out there and get Fàbregas. We know he'd want to come back to Arsenal rather than go to Chelsea, but if he's got nowhere else and no other team's going to take him, he's going to go to Chelsea. He's got to earn his wages. He's got to be playing at the highest level. So it's a real conundrum, this one. What I want to find out from the fans actually is, what do you think? Should we bring Cesc Fàbregas back to Arsenal, yes or no? If you want to vote on this, we've got a poll going on our website. Go to arsenalfantv.com and register your vote there, and I'll come back tomorrow and tell you what the majority of fans think. Do you want Cesc Fàbregas to come back to Arsenal, yes or no? We did a video on it the other day. Most people seem to say yes, but now that you're hearing that he might be going to Chelsea, how are you feeling? You know, I mean, is he as loyal as you think? Or is it our own fault because we're not going out there and bringing back a world-class player? It's a real conundrum, because we've got so many other positions like holding midfield, a striker, where we've got to get these players in. That would Cesc Fàbregas be a bit of a luxury player, because we're buying a player in a position where we've got so many players already? I'm going to leave it up to you to tell me what you think. Thanks for watching Arsenal Transfer Daily today. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow with another AFTV Transfer Daily. We'll be taking a look at the players that have been linked with Arsenal. It's going to be all summer.